So this is the beginning of the video of me participating in a little goalkeeping here with one of my friends. I'm going to go ahead and get it started and talk about what I see. As he rolls the ball out to the middle, I know the angles that I need to be able to cover here. So with him being in the middle of the field, I have to be in the middle of the goal as well. As he moves around a little bit, I can move as well. Because I know how he shoots, I know what to look for when the ball comes off of his foot. As he kicks the ball, there's a little bit of curve to it, so I have to be able to anticipate the spin of the ball as it comes off, begins to move. Right here, I'm going to go ahead and pause it because this is a place where I didn't anticipate the conditions of the field very well. I wore a pair of flats, and I didn't wear the typical cleats that I wear on a grass field because when I've played here before, it's been rather hard and pretty dry. Today, it was a lot more green and alive than I was anticipating. So my foot slides out from under me as I go to dive. Not positive I actually would have gotten to the ball either way, but in this situation, in this particular shot there, my foot slides out, and I wasn't able to make the dive that I typically would to try and get to that ball. It slid past me, but the curve of the ball had it going away from me, so it was going to be a difficult save in any case. I'm going to start it up here again. As these balls come to me, the most important thing to think about is keeping my body between me and the ball. Even though they look like fairly simple saves, it's from experience pretty easy to let a ball slip through my hands and slide into the back of the goal. So I'm always focused on trying to keep my hands between, or my body between the ball and the goal, so that if something were to happen, I could at least count on my body to stop the shot. Here, as I dive, I'm always focused on keeping my hands in a triangle position, so that my two pointer fingers and my thumbs are pretty close to touching, so that as the ball enters my grasp, I'm able to keep a little bit of a window. When I hit the ground, I try to keep one hand on top and one hand behind the ball and pin it to the ground, as opposed to pulling it in or trying to fight against the ground. I try to use the ground to my advantage, so that whenever I land, I have control of the ball, and if it does go anywhere, pushing it into the ground allows me to have a little bit more control over what happens to the ball if it were to leave my grasp. And when I dive like this, the important thing to do is to try and let my body roll down to the ground as opposed to land completely flat. So I try to hit the ground with my feet and ankles first and roll up from there, so that I'm not landing completely flat, potentially hurting my ribs, knocking the wind out of me or anything like that. So the way that I land is really important. As I watch where he moves the ball, I try to adjust my body so that I'm always in the right place to be able to move so that I'm covering the most goal possible. I try to keep my knees bent, my hands out, so that my hands are always ready to go wherever I need for them to. When balls are close to the ground, like the one that's coming up here in a second, if my hands are open and kind of out in a position where I can get down quickly, like that, then I don't have to worry about any extra movement in getting my hands to the position I need them to be. I try to keep them in a place where I can get to whatever part of the goal I need to as quickly as possible. Keeping my knees bent allows me to move a little bit quicker. And periodically, I'll pull on my shorts just to make sure that I don't have any kind of hindrance in the way that my body is able to move based on what I'm wearing. I think that's pretty well the end of what I've got here. The big ideas of keeping that I come away with that I might pick up on just based on experience is the angles that I'm taking based on where somebody else is shooting from, exactly where I put my body and how that relates to me being able to stop a shot, as well as just being able to catch a ball in the air and pin it to the ground without losing it. The experience that is behind that, and the positioning of where my hands are when I catch the ball and what I do with it whenever I hit the ground are things that I think I might notice just based on the experience that I have keeping that wouldn't necessarily be obvious to everybody when they watch it.